So here you can see me drawing out my lines, trying to get some precise angles and cuts going on here. I'm not a carpenter. I've never done a DIY before, but I thought this would be pretty cool. So you see me trying to measure out my lines, looking like I'm doing something. I'm doing a little something. Check me out. I thought this was going to be my design, but that didn't work out for me. So here I have 10 planks of 1 by 2 by 8 coming board. What I will say, I do not recommend this type of wood. It bows way too much. And I stood there for several minutes trying to pick through the best planks. You might have to search around on YouTube for other videos on the best type of wood. So here's me framing out my wall and yelling at my kids, of course, because they won't let me be great. But here's me framing out the wall and putting way too many nail holes in the wall. Also, side note, I want to say it is probably easier if you go ahead and paint your planks before placing them on the wall. Paint first, because it took me forever to cut those corners. So I would recommend painting before you even nail anything to the wall. So here's my design. Done with that. And I had to go back through my wood filler and patch up and connect some of those lines so I can get it all cleaned up and have it looking, professional. Here you see I filled in all my lines with the wood filler. And I've also came back through with the dry decks, what you see is pink on the wall. That's because I had so many nail holes in the wall, you guys, because I couldn't agree or come up with a pattern that worked for me. So I ended up with planks in those spots, and I didn't like it, so I had to remove it. And that's a bunch of unnecessary work. So I do recommend using painter's tape to line your wall up for your patterns. That way, instead of drawing on the wall, you can easily remove the tape from the wall and change your design as you see fit. And here's that blue Scott's painter tape that I wish I would have used from the jump. Yeah, that's it. So, again, I'm just pointing out where I originally started drawing with the pencil, and that served me no justice, and I wish I would have used that tape. And I also wish I would have painted the planks beforehand, but we're not going to complain because your girl got it done. But those are mistakes that you guys shouldn't make. If you know the color you're going to use on the wall, I say go ahead and paint your planks ahead of time. Here's the wood filler that I used, Elmer's wood filler. Don't ask me why, but once it was all dry, it worked out perfectly. It sanded really, really good and smooth, and the lines were seamless. I also used the Ryobi sander to sand down my wood. I could have used sandpaper or a sanding block. But again, that is more work than I had time to do. So this right here did me just fine. I paid $65 for it. And I will be doing other projects around the house to get my money's worth. So yeah, I'm not going to complain about that. In here, I used Glidden Diamond Collection paint. And this is a painting primer in one. It's a flat black. I know most people prefer Behr or Sherman-Williams or, all these different paint companies. But I'm not a painter. And I just got what I seen at the Home Depot. And it worked out fine. I still had paint left. So I ain't going to complain. And I probably spent $30 at the most. Ooh, look at those nails. Awful. But then again, I'm just showing you guys how I framed it. My spots are being filled in. And I'm getting ready to throw me some paint on these walls. And see how the project turned out. Before I leave this clip, Y'all, what y'all think about that? I don't like that. I'm replacing that. That's a baby chandelier. We're not doing that. We're going to remove that and we're going to go with something more modern. So here's the first coat of paint. I went ahead and applied that glitter, threw it on the wall. And if I must say myself, it looks highly professional. And you would think that one paid for that. And it's all me. Let me step back. Look at that. Yeah, your girl did that. So bask in all that. And I'm going to give you guys the final look. And here is the finished product.